illuminate the road to our sanctification. With this wish, the custodian of the Holy Land, Father Pizzaballa, lit the first Advent candle in the Grotto of the Nativity in Bethlehem. More than 3 million tourists came to the Holy Land between January and today, and Christmas promises record attendance. The Holy Sepulchre is the site most visited by Christians. The story of a monastery built 1,500 years ago, today more easily accessible to the public, a real treasure from early Christian times. Catholic action on the road. Many young people participate in a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. There's already a festive atmosphere in Bethlehem as Christmas approaches, expressions of enthusiasm by those who live in the city where Jesus was born. Here, Jesus saw the light of day, and once again this year, at the Grotto of the Nativity, the custodian of the Holy Land has initiated preparations for Christmas. As he entered Bethlehem, the expectation of the waiting faithful was palpable. Precisely when Bethlehem renews its enthusiasm for the arrival of Christmas pilgrims, the solemn entry of Friar Pizzaballa takes on particular significance. The procession did not have to stop at the normal checkpoint, but in accordance with the status quo agreement in Israeli territory at the tomb of Rachel. Awaiting the custodian in the square in front of the church was the parish priest of Bethlehem, Father Marwan, together with local officials. To the music of the Te Deum, inside St. Catherine's, Friar Pizzaballa was received by the superior of the sanctuary, Friar Stefan Milovic.
I take advantage of this occasion to congratulate, for the first time in public, the new parish priest of Bethlehem, in the belief that he will serve his community well.
Following his address in initiation of Advent, the custodian greeted many of the faithful who were there to express their thanks to the custody in the person of its representative.
Beginning Advent in the Holy Land is always special, as is most of the liturgy here, because it starts with a solemn entry into the city of Bethlehem, and marks, above all, a spiritual preparation which is at the same time something organized and practical. This year, as we have said, we wish as Christians to remember a context in which we encounter the significance of Christmas in the solidarity of all Christians in the Middle East, and in particular, the Christians of Iraq, in more intense prayer. The Middle East and the Holy Land in particular is a land in which everyone prays, Muslims, Jews, as well as Christians, and we wish to characterize this season with particular and intense prayer.
Calling to mind together persecuted Christians, Friar Pizzaballa spoke of relations with other religions, something which had become especially important at this time.
We are already united in centuries of coexistence, physically united with similar traditions, as well as different ones, which we continue to observe in the Holy Land. We are united in spirit, even in disagreement, and we are united in so many common activities. But from a liturgical point of view, the identities of each of us will always be maintained.
During Vespers, the friars descended to the grotto where they lit the first Advent candle. We want this light to shine like the sun, so it will illuminate the way that we have to take for our sanctification, a phrase which one may read on the Custodian's internet site, a message which leaps forth from the liturgy and goes straight to the heart. A few days ago, a Brazilian, Arau Ladislau, landed at David Ben-Gurion International Airport near Tel Aviv. He wasn't aware of anything unusual, yet this man was officially the 3 millionth tourist to visit Israel in this record year. There's a boom in pilgrimage to the Holy Land, and the numbers speak for themselves. 3 million visitors came here between January this year and today, more than all who came here throughout the previous year. As far as individual countries are concerned, the United States of America provides the highest consistent number of visitors, a good 500,000, calculated according to an internationally recognized system. In second position is Russia, with 400,000, calculated as representing 15% of international tourism. After that comes France with 260,000, the United Kingdom with 170,000, and Germany with 146,711 registered tourists, a growth of 4% over 2009. Italy follows, with more pilgrims coming here at Christmas time, and with 121,000 tourists this year. Overall, there has been impressive growth in comparison with the year 2000, a Jubilee year, which had been considered a record one for visitors to Israel and the holy places. Christianity, it goes without saying, provides most pilgrims, 54% from all denominations, compared with 39% comprising Jewish visitors, while the remaining 7% without particular religious affiliation. Areas directly associated with Jesus attracted visitors of whatever allegiance. Over half came here for the second time. Of places visited by most tourists, Jerusalem ranked highest with 74% of tourists, while Galilee was visited by 39% of pilgrims as far as individuals or groups were concerned. Sites most visited were the Western or Wailing Wall, 74%, the Jewish quarter of the Old City, 66%, the Mount of Olives, 54%, the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre, 53%, and the Via Dolorosa, 51%. Christmas time promises to break records, especially as far as the holy places are concerned.
An impressive sight, clinging to a cliff face in the Judean desert, a 30-minute drive from Jerusalem, the 5th century Greek Orthodox monastery of St. George, a thing of beauty hidden in a ravine. It is now more easily accessible to pilgrims. The Israeli Ministry of Tourism has finished repairs to the access road and built a new bridge, both having been severely damaged by a flash flood. Once again, visitors can reach the monastery with comparative ease, following the reconstruction that was requested by the Greek Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem, Theophilos III. Invited journalists mingled with religious leaders, invited to witness the official opening of the repaired road and bridge. St. George's is one of the oldest monasteries, among the many that could be found in the Judean desert over some 3 centuries, when there was a vibrant monastic life in these sandy hills.
The history of this site does not only date to the time of Christ, but to many years before. The prophet Elijah took refuge here. As we can read in the New Testament, ravens brought him food. We believe that Joachim and Anne, the parents of Mary, visited the site. Today, 5 Greek Orthodox monks live at the monastery. They seem to be perfectly attuned to the sheer drops of the ravine. Their austere life is impressive, just as that of their forebears, who came to the desert to spend their entire lives here. I think that the monks came to the desert to find tranquility. St. John Chrysostomos said, "When I come to the desert, I meet myself." In the wilderness, it is easier to find God, to communicate with him, and to know oneself better. The monks knew this, as did Jesus, who also came to pray in silence, as did John the Baptist. All came to be with God.
In the famous Wadi Kilt, in which the monastery is situated, an aqueduct flows, and there is greenery, with contrasts arresting with the aridity of the desert. The monks who live here are not reclusive, but are open to receiving visitors who for their part come to marvel at this treasure from the centuries of Christianity.
Together at the Heart of the World is the name of an international pilgrimage organized by Catholic Action for 30 young people from 7 countries: Italy, Romania, Burundi, Argentina, Myanmar, Israel and Jordan, as well as from the Palestinian territories, designed to discover the history, places and beliefs of the Holy Land.
The idea was conceived after a large pilgrimage 2 years ago, comprising young people from 26 countries, with the intention of staying a little longer in the Holy Land in places, and to spend a little time in study, an experience which would amount to a real course.
The itinerary alternated between personal formation and days of sharing with local Christians. Above all, they experienced an unique discovery of the Holy Land, meeting scholars, religious leaders and Christians. Among the important encounters was one with Monsignor William Shomely, Auxiliary Bishop of the Latin Patriarchate in Jerusalem, who told the young visitors of his experiences at the Synod in Rome.
For me, it is very fine because we listen to differing points of view, yet we shared the same objective.
I'm from Myanmar. We come from different places. When we are here, we are like one body in Jesus Christ. So we are very happy here to be here.
A highlight was being able to visit the Grotto of the Nativity. where it is always Christmas, and where it is possible to sense the experience of the shepherds as well as of the Magi as they brought their gifts to the child Jesus. Visits to Hebron, Jerusalem and Galilee were included in the program.
In the Holy Land today, in all of the Palestinian territories and in Israel, we number less than 2%, and the presence of young people from all over the world who have come here on pilgrimage and formation, here in the city of Bethlehem, is an encouragement for us to go forward in the knowledge that there are people who support us, who think of us, and who love the Holy Land.
At Christmas time, if you come here to Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, you cannot really speak of Christmas without visiting this place. The festivities are always beautiful, and each year Bethlehem is adorned in a different way. An atmosphere of unity attracts people. This morning we were selling Dutch cheese, and now there's none left. And the same applies to the sweets. But as you see, now I'm giving people these flowers, which were grown in Gaza. It's a festive atmosphere, as it is every year, if one comes here for something to eat.